established rich coming right back at you. This world crazy. One minute you can be right on the edge of freedom, and the next moment you right back in the hands of the feds. And that's exactly where R.I.C.H finds himself right now. We talking about a man who was days away from supervised release. April 11th, that was the light at the end of the tunnel. And then out of nowhere, a federal raid. Memphis property linked to him and his father. Feds pull up, warrant in hand, and just like that, he back in jail. Now, stop right there because this part matters. This ain't some random street pickup. This is the FBI. And when they moving like that, they ain't moving off guesswork.
Now to the other big story developing today. Memphis rapper R.I.C.H back in the headlines this evening.
Yeah, the FBI says they executed a raid on a home in Cordova with a possible connection to the rapper. Action News 5's Michaela Redmond joining us live now with details on this raid. Michaela.
Right now, it's very calm and quiet out here. It was a very different scene this morning down Beaver Alley Lane that had a heavy presence of FBI agents. Take a look at this video. You can see agents coming and going from the home and digging through some of the vehicles parked in the driveway of the home. According to the FBI, officials carried out a search and issued an arrest warrant at the home, but no additional details are available right now. Action News 5 looked at the property records that indicate the homeowner is Lantrell Williams Sr., the same name as R.I.C.H's father. Action News 5 did speak to a nearby resident who recalled the moments the FBI arrived.
When I first came out and looked, I only saw one car by that stop sign and two guys just standing there. The car had its headlights on, but as I said, there weren't a lot of flashers or anything like that.
R.I.C.H was released from federal prison back in October of last year after he was sentenced to 5 years and 3 months in a Miami prison. He pleaded guilty to firearms and drug charges as part of a deal that dropped 3 other charges. Now, that resident we spoke to says his home was one of the first in this neighborhood built. He says he rarely sees activity at the home that was raided. I'll have more from him coming up at 6. Reporting live in Cordova, Michaela Redmond, Action News 5.
I'm Ryan Rabel, I'm the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas. Thank you for coming. This week, 9 individuals, including well-known musical artists, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lantrell Williams Jr., also known as R.I.C.H, Lantrell Williams Sr., Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, Kadarius Waters, Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Corday Johnson, Darian McDaniel, and Terrence Rogers has not been arrested yet, but will be soon. The complaint alleges that on January 10th of this year, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting. Lantrell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting purportedly to discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims. As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover. As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches.
You can feel the weight of what just happened. This ain't internet talk. This is real-life federal movement. Now, here's the other side of the story, the part that's got the internet on fire. They saying this whole thing is tied to Gucci Mane. Allegations have been flying around that R.I.C.H and his dudes robbed Gucci Mane, kidnapped him, forced him to release R.I.C.H from 1017. And here's why this rumor has legs. Because it ain't just a he say, she say situation. It's layers attached to it. They talking about video footage existing, multiple people filming with their phones. They talking about security, former law enforcement type security. And here's the part that really makes people stop and think. They saying the footage has been floating around, not in public, but behind the scenes. People allegedly trying to sell it, trying to shop it to podcasts. And when you hear that, you start to understand why the feds might be paying attention. Because if the video exists, that ain't a story. That's evidence. But hold up, let's bring this back to common sense for a second. You mean to tell me a man on federal supervised release, a man who just did time, who is days away from his freedom, would risk all of that for a move like that? That's what people are struggling with. Because it don't sound like a calculated decision. It sounds like a self-destruct button. That's why you got people saying, this can't be true. And you got other people saying, boy, he is stupid. And that's what the tension is between logic and possibility. Because logic says, no way you threw your life away like that. But reality has shown us time and time again that people do exactly that. If this is true, this is career suicide. Now let's take it further. Let's just say for a second, this turns out to be true. Not rumor, not speculation, facts. If that's the case, This might be one of the most self-destructive moves we have ever seen in the music business. And I'm not saying that based for drama. I'm saying that based on the timing alone. You were almost free. You was almost back out here with a second chance. And you throw it away for what? A contract dispute? A power play? And then you add the video element to it. That's where it gets even worse. Because now it's not about who said what. It's about what can be shown. And once something can be shown, it's a different game.
Gucci goes in the studio. This is all on camera. The video is going to reveal this nigga Big 30. Mind you, the feds already have all this shit. They had it for over a month now. R.I.C.H over here antagonizing shit. I'll tell you about that later. So, Gucci walk in the damn studio, bro, with his people to Draco's. The fucking footage is going to show R.I.C.H had one on him. Big 30 had one on him. Only person who really gonna escape from this is the Pops. The Pops did not want none of this to go on. Nigga like this, bro. Gucci look at the dad like, the Pops just head down. You can't tell your son nothing right now. Your son the number one right now. You gonna sign this? Sign the damn papers. And we need that. Wedding ring. Watch. Come up out that. The person who closed the door is Big 30. He got his Draco. That's why they put the warrant out for him. This is all on camera, so nothing I'm telling y'all ain't shit that the feds don't know. A lot of y'all gonna be like, oh, bro, this fair work, this fair work, this fair work. It really ain't. I tried to say to the nigga by saying he wasn't there. Saying he left and then these cats did whatever they did. I tried. I tried to get the jury. By the time I get to Dallas, these niggas done already left. It's a whole rumor out there. It's gonna come out later. It is what it is. I'm not gonna confirm or deny anything, but I will tell y'all this. I was about this close. But the people who had the jury, shit, they on paranoia mode. And I get it. So I ain't even mad at that one. Now, there's certain details I'm not going to put out because obviously it is what it is. I'll plead the fifth all day. I don't give a shit. They don't know nothing anyways. I know who knows what, and I know more than what the hell I'm letting on. But it is what it is. So they do that shit. They leave. Gucci Mane pissed, confused, hurt. Gucci say nothing. The cameraman and the little homie are running through everywhere, doing this. They telling people, give me 5,000, I'll break the whole story to you. Give me 3,000, I'll break the whole story to you. Hey, I got the footage, bruh. Y'all can break the story. Y'all can have nobody, and I'm proud of the industry for this and all. I'll give a damn. It's literally some people who ain't street at all that could have had that footage and said, hell no, we ain't touching that. So behind the scenes, they've been trying to give this damn footage up.
You hear the confidence in how Sadie talking about it. Like they not even questioning if it happened. They talking about how it happened. And that's a dangerous place to be in. Because once the conversation shifts from did he do it to why he did it, you already in trouble. Now let's talk about the Gucci side again for a second. He ain't out here screaming robbery. He ain't made no public claims. In fact, he posting like everything normal. Jury's still on, still moving around, which adds another layer to this whole thing. Because now people are wondering, if something did happen, why handle it quietly? And the answer might be simple. When you got security, when you got connections, you don't always need the internet. You let the other systems handle it. But back to the core of this whole situation. If it's true, it ain't just a bad decision. It's pitiful. And I don't use that word lightly because you had everything lined up. You had a second chance most people never get, and you threw it away for something that don't even make sense long term. And that's the part that hit the hardest. Not the erase, not the rumors, but the waste. The waste of opportunity, the waste of potential. Because whether you like his music or not, you gotta admit he got momentum. So now we left waiting. But the one thing I am gonna say, If this turns out to be true, then everything that come with it, he earned it. Point blank. Because at some point, you can't blame the system. You can't blame the industry. You gotta look in the mirror and own your own decisions. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe. Establish Rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.